Ryan and I here, coaches of the Minnesota Rocker. Just wanted to give you guys an update on Rocker moving forward. First things first, stage 3 was obviously unacceptable. I think every one of us, coaches included, tweeted out after our loss against LAT that it was just an embarrassment, unacceptable. All our stuff, our coaching staff and players hold ourselves accountable and hold ourselves to a higher standard. As coaches, you kind of want to be the first ones to look inward, and that was something we had to do. I kind of felt that Ryan and I were trying to be the same coach, which isn't going to mesh well, and then we needed to figure out that balance.
Why the fuck's Brian even a coach?
Like, hey, like this is what I want to be doing. This is
He
what
hasn't
I
been
think you
coaching
should be
as a
doing,
pro.
or just even talk to each other about what our strengths are. So we've kind of shifted our coaching dynamics. How that coaching dynamic is going to change and work is I'm going to be a little bit more front-facing.
As you should be.
Pro, I feel like that's an advantage just when it comes sometimes to the respect level from your players. They kind of look at me to get the team playing at a high level, playing consistently,
figuring this out after
making
like
sure
4
our
years.
floor is really high. That's going to be kind of my focus is in the respawn modes because that's where I excel at.
So for myself, I've always excelled and thrived in being creative, coming up with S&D strats and focusing on S&D game plan when it came to counter stratting and focusing on our own strats as well. And I think I definitely lacked a lot in the S&D department, trying to focus way too much on respawn and helping get the team together. It just felt like there was a lot of instances where I was stepping out of my comfort zone way too much to try and be like one of those.
Why couldn't they figure this out before?
The inspirational speeches, trying to get everyone back in line because obviously there was some team issues throughout the stage, and I feel like I was getting way too uncomfortable trying to be something that I wasn't.
So not only are we going to be making a coaching dynamic change as we just talked about,
Ain't
we'll
that
also
something?
be making a team change.
Can't wait to hear this one.
For attach going into our home series. We trialed him on both roles because he ran a flex for us on Rocker Academy just to see where his comfort is at the pro level, and after seeing both roles, he looked a lot more comfortable on the AR. The pro level, the pacing's obviously different, the teamwork's different. It's not it's a lot slower pace, but I think the AR fit him best, and then that's why we made that move.
To speak more on Kev, he's a player that I've been really high on for over a year now, especially watching him back in the CCL. He's an incredible player with a really good mind for the game, which is why I was really interested in bringing him on the Rocker at the tail end of the Vanguard season. Kev really excels in both roles, and he's just very inflexible and a sponge as a player where if you feed him information, he's going to take that in and implement it into his gameplay. And with this team, what the players and the coaches really felt like we were missing is a glue player on our team who's going to be that guy that will block spawns, pick up a lot of hill time, and just do whatever the team needs to win. It felt like there's a lot of instances throughout this year where everyone was trying to do a little bit too much on the map, and I think with Kev, we're going to have a lot more freedom for players like Cam and Marcus to kind of run around the map and do what they want.
So heading into this major, we are in the 8th slot, as everyone knows, have a little bit of a buffer on Vegas, but as we see, they're making moves.
Wait, so isn't it crazy how every team... Crazy. This is literally what I said about FaZe. I said the same thing about Optic. It seems like the missing piece to most people's puzzle. It has actually now become the most important role in all of Call of Duty is that flex glue player, and not like a glue player that like does all the dirty work and like goes triple fucking negative, but like actually still does good and is just like the glue and the leader for everyone around him. Granted, I mean, like, they have, like, bans, and they basically have bans to also be a leader, but most teams need, like, that flex glue player. Like, I said the same thing about FaZe. Like, that's, like, the one role that I feel like they had, and fucking Cell just became, like, a main AR, and they just had, like, that glue flex player, but there's, like, not really, if you look around, there's not really that many flex glue players that are, like, top players, so that's weird. But, I was thinking about this because I was thinking about this for a while when, like, Rocker was doing really, really bad. And I was thinking, because I knew they were bound to make a roster change. I'm pretty sure everyone knew that. And I was thinking, this could go two ways because Attach is, like, the franchise player of Rocker. That's why they kept him. In Vanguard, he did really good with the AR. But I was thinking, he hasn't done that good this year. So I was thinking, maybe it was just like the Vanguard year where he did very good with like the AR. Maybe he should maybe go back, or consider going back to SMG. Like, hasn't really been looking that good on AR this year. Like, nowhere near his fucking Vanguard level. I'm not sure if that was like an anomaly or not, because literally it was his first time taking out an AR full time, and he was literally Michael Jordan on that rocker team in Vanguard with like no help, you know. But yeah, but I was thinking, I was like, is this gonna be like almost like a repeat of what happened on Ultra when Methods was on it? Because you have 3 EU players who all have chem, because you know you just have like that EU connection, and then you have the franchise player. Is the organization going to make a change based around keeping the franchise player, or are they going to say, hey, we got 3 good players, all have chem, don't want probably any of them to be dropped to like fuck that up, and just replace the franchise player? So it was like either like the franchise player, like the 3 EU players, like almost like it was on Ultra back then when you had like the 3 EU players and then you had fucking Methods, and they chose the EU players over Methods, and we saw how that one went. It went on to become like one of like the best like flowing chemistry teams. And yeah, there's a lot of people saying that they're probably cooked for doing this, but I don't know much about Fame. That's the thing. I knew he was on Rocker Academy, but never saw any of his gameplay. I'm not really interested in watching the Challengers Elites every week. I got a lot of things going on. Don't really got time to add that to my schedule. But I probably should look more into that, honestly. But and I just don't like watching Challengers. Like, for some reason, like when it's not a professional broadcast, I don't like watching it. But I don't know how good Fame is. I don't know. But like, if we're just looking at it from like the flex glue player perspective, like they just said, call me crazy. I saw the comments, bro. I saw the comments. Like, just fucking everyone's like, what? Like, I'm thinking this could be a dark horse fucking roster change that no one expects will be good, but is actually good. Like, it's crazy. Not saying Attach was like costing or anything, but like, if you actually do think about it, they had 4 really good players, but like, who's like the role player, you know? You could say it's fucking Bance, but I kind of feel like there has to be more than one. And I know Cammy's more of a slayer as well. So like, every team has it. Like, Ultra has Insight, and they have Hixie doing that thing, and then like fucking Scrappy and Kleenex run the fuck around. And we saw just that one dynamic change. They took away a top slayer in Standy, replaced them with someone who everyone thought was like less better, and it just helped the overall engine of the team. And I'm thinking this will probably be that. I don't know anything about Fame, but obviously you can't do any worse than 0-5 and then OFR at the major. You can't do any worse than that. So anything's a progress. I think this is actually a positive change. Call me crazy. Still don't think Brian Saint should be on that fucking coaching staff, but I mean, hey, that's an issue for the off season. But I can see this change being a positive change. It'll really make like the flow of the team better, you know? Like, sometimes you can't have 4 superstar players on a team. Like, back in the day, you had Scump, Karma, Krim, and Formal. Karma literally went from a fucking main slayer and took the bitch role, because someone's got to do it. And you see how... But I think that team was an anomaly, where you have 4 fucking star players that could actually just make the team work. We don't see it working now these days. When you have 4 star players making an engine work, there has to be like that like lesser player on the team who like just does more fundamentals. There just has to be. Yeah, but like, I think Brian Saint gotta get the fuck off this team, bro. Like, if you have a player like Attach on your team who's actually a really good player playing different, I'm thinking there has to be like some like internal shit that we don't even know about. Because there always is. Like, we can all make these outside opinions, but there's got to be more going on. Like, we see so much good players just move to a different environment, they start doing good again. Huh, where did that come from? Like, I'm not willing to accept that Attach just started playing worse this fucking year. I'm assuming something happened, you know, but obviously I can only make these opinions from a surface level. But I think fucking Looney should just be like the main coach. Like, why is Brian Say here? What championships has he brought to... we're not going to talk about the standing one, okay? We're not talking about that one. Because that was all Standy. That had nothing to do with the coach. I swear that had nothing to do with the coach. I swear that was just Standy in his fucking element in Cold War, bro, taking over. But I don't even know. Wait.
You think because you were too slow?
Told to slow down by coaches?
Because if it was up to me, I would not have been too slow. But I was
Really?
just playing how I was told to play.
No way.
I was on the leash. Say, you're moving too much. You go sit on that side of the map and you don't come out. I said, all right.
No fucking way. Bro. It's literally what I was fucking just talking about, bro. There's all these things we don't even know about. I was like, man. It's like the same thing I say about like Cell sometimes. Like I watched like a clip of Cell on Gavitu. It was like during like a tourney, forgot who they're playing, and I watched him, literally no joke. I wish one of these days I'm gonna go fucking back and find the map. I literally watched him sit at like a corner of the map for literally over a minute. Like his team was literally playing 3v4. Like I think he was going for fucking spawn rotation or something, but like I literally watched him not move in a single spot for like a minute, no interactions. And like I kind of like see it sometimes from like attached where I'm just like, dude, is this guy even here on this team? Like I know AR's like on like certain maps of control, like control defense, like they have to go to like the site that doesn't get as much action, and you know they're just not gonna get as much interactions. But I was like, damn, bro, like Attach used to be an SMG player, so I thought when he switched like an AR, he'd be more of like a hyper aggressive AR, just fucking gunning kids. But like, you know, hearing this now, I'm like, god damn, all these things we don't know. So what the fuck else don't we know? What the fuck? Damn, it's crazy out here. Where do we think Attach is gonna go next? That's another video.